world is a busy place. Life can get a bit hectic, and anxiety can be quite common. It may seem unavoidable, but there are ways in which you can minimize the chances of anxiety striking with a few simple tips from your bestie. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell too, so you're up to date on all our daily videos. Turns out things like sugar, even though it tastes good in the moment, isn't always great for your mental health. We've talked about the downsides of consuming too much sugar on this channel before, but according to the Department of Health and Human Services, 75% of Americans are still consuming too much sugar. Here's a few reasons how sugar can affect your anxiety and possibly make it worse. Anxiety and depression go hand in hand. A sugar high is a very real thing and can lead to your mood acting like a roller coaster. If you experience high highs, you guessed it, you'll probably experience some low lows as well. Studies published in PUBMED show that a diet that consists of lots and lots of sugar has been linked to depression. This is because sugar can slow down the effects of an important hormone called BDNF. This hormone is likely to already be slow if you are suffering from depression. If you know the effects of sugar, then it won't surprise you to find out that sugar is actually the main culprit when it comes to chronic inflammation as well, which can kick off a whole lot of other issues in the body. Things like hurting your immune system and affecting the brain in negative ways. Sugar is addictive. More studies need to be done, but researchers at Yale University have said that when exposed to sugar, or even the sight of sugar, it can signal the same part of the brain that responds to drugs. A 2007 study published in the LA Times showed rats who demonstrated the usual symptoms that are associated with addiction, like withdrawal, and possible high levels of anxiety in some cases, can cause feelings of panic. It can directly affect your mood. Who else is guilty of reaching for the ice cream when you're feeling sad? It might not make you feel 100% better, but it doesn't hurt. Surprisingly enough, that's a great example of a sugar high. Something that will make you feel great for a few moments, but won't solve your overall problem. In fact, it can actually make it worse. According to Healthline, binging on the sugary stuff can make those feelings of anxiety, worry, and sadness worse. How does this happen? Well, when you flood your body with sugar, it has to work overtime to regulate it. This is what can cause your mood to flip-flop back and forth, with many feelings like nervousness, not being able to focus, jumpy, or just drained. Like we mentioned earlier, those who struggle with depression will only feel these effects more. What's more, too much sugar in your diet can cause imbalances in your brain. If these imbalances happen too often, that can possibly increase the long-term risk of a mental health disorder later. Sugar doesn't cause anxiety, but it sure can make it worse. If you know your anxiety triggers, then you probably know that sugar can be a big one. It can make you feel jittery, tense, give you the shakes, and all of these can make your anxiety way worse. But that's not all. Sugar can have a negative effect on how your body will deal with stress later on. It can actually cause you to avoid dealing with any of the things that cause you to feel anxious, which in itself can cause more anxiety. Sugar goes right to the brain. Anxiety is something that affects our brains. UCLA researchers discovered that eating sugary foods that are high in fructose, like soda, can actually slow down your brain. This can be very similar to those moments before coffee in the morning. You can't think straight, your memory is affected, and you can't focus, let alone learn anything new. Well, unlike your grogginess in the morning, these effects on the brain are probably more serious. Healthline reports that fructose can possibly damage the genes in the brain. Your diet and anxiety go hand in hand. You may think it's all just in your head when you're going through major bouts of anxiety. And while you're not totally wrong, it's actually a mixture of everything because the whole body is connected. Harvard Medical School says that anxiety doesn't only affect us mentally, it can also manifest physically. That's because your diet really does play a big role in your mood and how you're feeling. So with all that said, too much sugar doesn't seem to be that great for your anxiety, depression, your brain, and more. What can you do to reduce the opportunities for anxiety to arise? Harvard Medical School has these dietary recommendations to help control your anxiety. Try a healthy diet that involves lots of protein, fiber, lean meats, and plants. And if you can, avoid things that will make you feel jittery, like caffeine, booze, and also smoking cigarettes. Things that are full of sugar are usually pretty delicious. That's why they're so hard to resist. However, you don't have to give up on your sweet tooth entirely. We want you to feel good and anxiety-free as much as possible here at Bestie. So here's a few things that you can sub out when you find yourself craving something sweet. Other things you can sub for sugar. Instead of ice cream, have a smoothie. Fruit is still sugary, but it's full of natural sugars that your body can handle. You can really customize the flavors of your smoothies and have them any time of the day. If you make them at home, you have a better chance of reducing the sugar and adding lots of great foods packed full of healthy vitamins. Fun fact, the more things you put in, like oats that contain a lot of fiber, the fuller you'll be for longer. Dates. Dates come from a palm tree, which is the epitome of relaxation. These will absolutely help you with your anxiety. Again, they're very sweet, so you'll want to limit your intake, probably about 1 to 3 dates at a time. They're the kind of sweet that your body can use, plus they're a great source of fiber, potassium, and iron. Sweet potatoes. Sweet is in the name, so you know they taste great. Healthline says that when you crave sugar, it's because you're hungry. Sweet potatoes can satiate those sweet cravings along with giving you lots of nutrients to boot, like vitamin C, A, and potassium. Potatoes do have carbs, but these can help curbing your hunger, so you'll crave less sugar during the day. Fermented foods. Okay, these definitely aren't sweet, but they do help with food cravings. Healthline says that there's lots of beneficial bacteria in anything fermented. These types of foods are also great for your gut, and Healthline says they can sort of talk to your brain through the compounds and hormones they can produce. What did you think about the fact anxiety can be linked to sugar? Are sugary foods your go-to when you're feeling anxious? How do you deal with your anxiety? Why not let us know in the comments section below? Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.